Gemini, hi guys, how's everybody doing? I just feel like I'm meeting up with my friends when we do Gemini reading, see what's going on, check in. I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. So when I split the deck, I was looking at the Emperor and the Page of Wands. And now I'm looking at the Nine of Pentacles. Let's see what's going on here. Getting a lot done. May even be reaching a big goal for yourself. Working on things independently. Very, very independent energy. It seems like a decision needs to be made about some sort of break even that you're taking. This may be a decision to pull back from something. Like, you may be checking in with yourself and wondering if you are like burnt out or you need more self-care. Or you may have felt like you've been going and going and going, because the Nine of Pentacles is like you've been doing a lot on your own and a lot has finally come to fruition, and now there's a decision about like, do I want to keep going like that, or do I need to take a break right now? Do I need a vacation? Do I need some time off? Things like that. Like, it feels more like a check-in to me. Something's being weighed. So pausing and thinking before making a move, very wise. Maybe we're also checking in and being like, am I avoiding taking a break because I'm actually avoiding thinking about something or addressing something, and that's why I want to keep working? So is this, maybe a lot is being questioned right now about your motivation, because it seems like maybe even you've been more productive than usual. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you're just trying to figure out why that is. Check in with yourself. Because even if you still want to continue avoiding something or not thinking about it, like, you can. It's just about the awareness of whether or not you are. I don't see that for everybody, but for some of you, yes. Maybe you want to spend some time with friends. Reconnect with your people. For some of you, you're going to be reconnecting with someone or some of your friends, or you're invited somewhere. And then you leave. Like, I'm seeing a notion even of you going somewhere. If you hear that, it's Octavia. I'm seeing a notion even of you going somewhere. You're like in bed and people call you and they're like, Gemini, come out, we want to see you. And you end up going to the party, and then it's like you end up sneaking away somehow. It's like there are too many people here even at a certain point, and you're like, I'm gonna go back to sleep. Let's see. For some of you, there's a sense of working specifically for equality. Like, maybe something job-related you're doing, but this can even be in a general sense. Maybe something isn't working for you, too, and that's why you're walking away from it. Like, you may not be being compensated how you want to be being compensated, and you have to make the choice now. It's like, are you going to have a rebuttal with someone, or are you actually going to leave something completely? It's almost like I'm seeing you be in an energy where you're like, I've worked so hard for this. I've done so much. Like, look at everything that I've created and that I've produced and that I've worked for. Like, there's just, it seems like just complete proof of what a hard worker you've been. and like the product of that. I'm seeing it very much in a tangible way being produced. And there's a sense now of questioning if whatever this is that you're interacting with, whether this be within a relationship or within a company, like, am I actually being valued for all of this work that I'm doing? Because I'm seeing like if there's any card that showcases somebody that puts in the work and then is able to reap the benefits of it and can like show up and produce what they say they're going to, it's this card right here. This is like all your hard work comes to fruition through the like what has been produced, the outcome of it. So now there's a question, yeah. Are you being valued in a way that feels empowering to you? Are you not being recognized for what you're doing? This kind of reminds me of the Aries reading. Something about like not being like recognized for things that one is accomplishing. Or what they're providing or what they're adding to a situation. So what's up with this? There's a sense of, so it's like you want to be treated in a way where it's like, if you're going to show up in this way, you expect someone else to be showing up in this way. If you're going to be doing that work, you expect the company to be paying you that much, or to be recognized or to be valued. It's like whatever you want in exchange for what you're doing, even if it's something not tangible, it can be something energetically, whatever this is that you're expecting, there's a sense of recognizing what this is for you, like how you want to be valued and what your standards are and what reciprocity looks like to you for the things that you're doing, what you're participating in. I'm seeing you be like, you know what? Questioning, am I fulfilled in this space? Is this something that I need to walk away from? I'm seeing for some of you, there's a connection that you're taking a break from. I'm looking at the Two of Cups here. This may be something that you're thinking over. For some of you, you could be taking a break to connect with someone. Like you've been working a lot and now you want to connect with someone. You may be connecting with like one person rather than a group of people even for some. I'm getting a couple different messages here. So keep it in mind. We're reading for however many people end up watching this. Yeah, somebody may invite you somewhere and you end up not going. But it feels more so like you don't go because you're feeling poorly about something. It's like maybe you don't want to socialize also. Strange, Gemini. But why? Yeah, I'm kind of just getting the feeling you don't feel good about something. Let's get further and see what this is about. You know what? Maybe you're recognizing that if you stick around in a situation where you don't feel valued, that it feels disempowering to you and that you're going to feel disconnected. So there's a sense of like choosing where you are feeling seen and valued over something else that you had been doing. This can even be like you could be in a place for example, at work, and it's like, well, they're paying me a lot, but I really don't feel supported in the environment, you know? So that may be something that you're questioning for yourself. This is reminding me, there's like this triangle theory about work, and you can only have 2 out of the 3 things. So it's like, it's you get along well with your coworkers, you're being compensated enough, and you also like what you're doing for work. But usually you can only get like 2 out of the 3 things in a job. So it's like you get along with your coworkers and you like what you're doing, but you don't get paid enough, or like any of those combinations. I don't know why that's coming to mind, but yeah, I don't even know where I heard that from. I feel like that's I don't know if a company would actually be saying that. But no, that's a real thing. Maybe when I was doing research. I feel like school was such a long time ago, but my degree is in psychology in research. For somebody curious, I guess. I don't really talk about this on here. Anyway. I'm looking at the Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Is that the World? Yes, it is. What is this about? There's that little Page of Swords that was sneaking out in the pre-shuffle. So, you may be doing something and releasing expectations of what the outcome is going to be and doing it because you want to do it. Doing it because it means something to you. This feels very much like the notion of if you are going to do something, you do it not for the outcome, not because you're attached to the outcome, but because you care about the work that you're doing. And this doesn't necessarily mean something you're being paid for, although it can be related to that. But it's like everything you do it to do it because you are willing to do that and up for it regardless of what the outcome is. Regardless of having an attachment to the outcome. Interesting. This feels like a new philosophical type of approach. It feels like something energetically that's happening rather than something financially. Like some type of choice that you're making. Because there are definitely different schools of thoughts, but when we talk about non-attachment, there's a sense of like following and expressing the dharmic root, which is like in your nature, what are you meant to be doing? What's in alignment with your path? And naturally, what would you be doing with your life, within your life, and all of that? And in practices of non-attachment, it's about doing the work that you need to do, and again, not being attached to the outcome of that thing. So it's like, if you're gonna post the pic, this is such a like superficial one, but this is what we're going with. If you're gonna post the picture, but don't do it for the outcome of the likes. You post the picture because you want to post the picture. So it's like whether no people like it or 1,000 people like it, you wanted to post a picture and so you post the picture. It's stuff like that. Such a funny one. The guides have lots of jokes today. So I'm seeing something like that going on here. So again, maybe some type of like philosophical change that's happening. Could also be reading more into things like that. This has to do with satisfaction and like, why am I not feeling happy? Why am I not feeling satisfied? And it comes from a place of having attachment. So maybe we are learning more about non-attachment. It's like wanting to not feel like you're tripped up at every corner because of these things that you're holding on so tightly to. Okay. So, making a decision only after you've been figuring out where you're feeling satisfied and where you're not feeling satisfied, and wherever in your life you want to be editing or moving or making changes, this is about actually taking action in that way. Then there's a second part to this, and I'm seeing somebody come through with some type of offer. This could have been something that you feel like took way too long. That's kind of what I'm getting. Like, I'm seeing you already having made moves, and then it's like somebody comes through trying to give you something. So maybe you almost feel it's like I'm seeing somebody. It's almost like you're about to walk out of the door and you have like one foot outside and then your phone rings and you get like pulled back in and you're like, do I want to go back inside and answer that, or do I want to keep going with what I'm doing? It's like one of those situations. Maybe you're also releasing an expectation of waiting for somebody to come through and make an offer to you because of how long it's taking. Like, maybe you're not waiting around for something any longer. It doesn't have to just be a person. This can be also business related. Yeah, maybe something having to do with an expectation that you're letting go of. It's like you're going to continue to carry on regardless of whether or not somebody comes through. It just feels like something that you had like maybe been more stubborn holding on to that you're going to be letting go of. That's what it looks like to me. I'm seeing you potentially take a break from a connection, actually. Also, maybe you had been waiting for someone to come through and say something or offer something. And this can be like offering words to you or an apology or whatever. And maybe something is just too little too late and you're actually being like, you know what, I actually need space from this. I need a break. I'm seeing a connection that you have with someone. This is a very genuine connection you have with this person. But maybe something's going on with like your expectations and how this person is showing up. And I'm seeing a lesson here. This means a cycle is completing with something or someone. This is a karmic cycle being completed. You getting to the finish line of something. When I see the world as an ending, I see it as an ending in the way that the Ten of Swords is an ending, but it's more so one where it's like it wasn't potentially painful. Like it can be more of a slow burn sometimes, but this is more so like there's a sense of closure even within this and a sense of wisdom that has been gained. With the Ten of Swords, it's kind of like things kind of end sort of viciously or even without closure or unexpectedly sometimes. Very painful potentially. But yeah, this is an ending all the same, but it's one where it's kind of like you graduated to the next cycle. So you get to move into another one. Karmically speaking, that's how I read that for this spread particularly. It looks like you're being invited somewhere and you're not going. Also, like in this next part, like there could be people that want to bring you back into something and I'm seeing you say no, thank you. There's a sense of not wanting to get involved with someone or some group of people anymore. Like it doesn't feel right to you to be involved in this. Maybe you feel like whatever this is that you're being invited to, maybe you're not resonating with it anymore. That's kind of what I'm seeing here with the Four of Cups below. It's like whatever this is. Honestly, though, it kind of feels too like for some reason there could be something potentially even fun going on and you're like, I don't want to. And maybe it's just like the type of mood you're in as well. Something that you don't want to participate in. Like maybe you're not in the mood to be social because it looks like some sort of social activity even. Maybe you're also kind of withdrawing a little bit. Maybe also because you're processing. It looks like you're going through a lot of stuff right now. So make sure to be gentle and kind with yourself as you're going through this. I think there can be a misconception sometimes with Gemini energy because it's such a like social butterfly type of vibe when you guys want to be, when we want to be. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart. And I think that sometimes because of the ways that we communicate, Gemini, sometimes people forget that you also have an emotional side and are processing things too. But because you're so logical, sometimes people don't always remember that. And it seems like you're kind of going through something. So make sure you're supporting yourself or finding support if you need that. Because I am getting like a kind of down energy Like something's going on and you feel a little bit down, which is totally okay also. But yeah, it feels almost like potentially you would be involved in something, but it doesn't feel right. With the Justice card here, this is what I'm seeing. It's like something's out of balance for you and you don't want to be involved in it. Like there's some sort of even moral quandary that you have with this. Maybe you just don't identify with it anymore. You may have also been, what I'm also seeing with the Justice card here too is that like your standards that you have for yourself, you may have been like trying to impress that on to someone else, and maybe you're walking away from doing that. It's like, it's great if you have your own like internal moral guide, but maybe you were also expecting someone else to be on the same page with you and they weren't, and you could have been like maybe trying to force that a little bit even, or just like expecting someone to follow along and they weren't. And there's a sense of moving away from that. I am just getting a sense of loneliness. Like I'm seeing kind of you on the outskirts of something, watching in on like a group of people. So maybe this is also about breaking away from that energy. Yeah, I'm seeing you still have energetic connections to like this person or this group of people, but there's a sense of you like you being on a different page and feeling maybe even like you don't belong a little bit. Not that you couldn't if you wanted to, because Gemini energy is very adaptable. It's like you could go back in there if you wanted to, but maybe it wouldn't feel authentic to you. So maybe that's also where the loneliness is coming from. This feels like growing pains, Gemini. I'm looking at Pluto. I'm hearing Cancer very strongly. I'm looking at Saturn and Libra. You are going to feel better the more you're understanding what's bugging you and why you're not feeling good about something. So it's like, rather than sitting in it and just being like, I don't feel good about this, or like I feel really pessimistic or whatever, it's like actually finding out why you're feeling like that. That is going to help you figure out where you want to go, what move you want to be making, and it's going to bring you out of a place that doesn't feel super pleasant right now. So this is you really checking in with yourself and getting that. I'm getting that message so clearly for you. It's like not enough to just know how you're feeling. This is about understanding why you're feeling that way for yourself, for your own benefit. I'm seeing that this is something that's going to help you. Excuse me, nose itching. I'm seeing that this is something that's going to help you process emotionally and like get more familiar with like your emotional body, so to speak. Help you with your confidence, feeling in touch with yourself, your needs. Feeling back on track, yeah. Yeah, it seems like you just hit like a little bit of a pothole and you are on the comeback. So everything's fine. You're about to be back on track. Back where you belong. Yeah. Yeah, this feels like a little battle that you're going through right now, but everything's going to be cool. I think there's also going to be some stuff that was revealed to you that was affecting you as well. But it may have been... it may have not directly been energetically interacting with you. I know this sounds kind of strange, maybe a little bit hard to wrap your head around. What I'm seeing is almost like there could have been something like once removed within the environment that was affecting you, that you are going to find out like why you were getting like residual energetic effect from something. If that makes sense. It will make sense, is what I'm hearing. So, okay. We're going to end the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. It's always a pleasure, Gemini. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.